Now this topic is elastic potential energy. Elastic potential energy. So for a discussion about elastic potential energy, we need a mathematical idea. Okay. Now to introduce that particular mathematical idea, here we have represented a graph. A graph. Okay. So this is a graph. This is x-axis and this is y-axis. Now the relation between x and y, particularly in this graph, y is equal to 3x square. So when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. This is the point corresponding to x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0. When x is equal to 1, y is equal to 3 into 1 square, that is 3. Suppose x is equal to 1 and this is 3. Y is equal to 3 and x is equal to 1. When x is equal to 2, 2 square 4, 4 into 3, 12, y is equal to 12. When x is equal to 4, 4 square, 4 is equal to 4 square, 16 into 3, 48. So y is equal to 48. So this particular point corresponds to y is equal to 48 and this particular point corresponds to x is equal to 4. So in this graph, x ranges from 1, 0 to 4 and beyond 4 also, and y ranges according to the equation y is equal to 3x square. So just this is the graph representing equation y is equal to 3x square, and this area shaded portion, this shaded portion is the area under the graph. Just you have to remind this, what is a graph, what is a graph, graphical representation of any equation y is equal to 3x square, and number 2, what is the area under the graph representing y is equal to 3x square. Next, this is another graph like that graph. It is here given more explicitly. X ranges from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on, and y ranges from 0, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30 and so on. Now when x is equal to 0, y is equal to 0, x is equal to 1, y is equal to 1, x is equal to 2, y is equal to 4, x is equal to 3, y is equal to 9. This point corresponds to 9, just below 10, 9. X is equal to 4, y is equal to 16, just 15. This is the 15, this 15, and just a slight this distance. Approximation, just an approximation. X is equal to 5, y is equal to 25. So this is the graph representing y is equal to x square. Okay. And this area, shaded portion, this shaded portion area, this is the area under the graph. Now, if we ask a question, if x ranges from 1 to 2, if x ranges from 1 to 2, so what is the area under the graph from 1 to 2? So this particular area is the area under the graph when x ranges from 1 to 2. If x ranges from 2 to 3, suppose x ranges from 2 to 3, and particularly for this value of x, this is the area under the graph. When x ranges from 0 to 4, the whole area under the graph, this area, this total area under the graph is the area under the graph. So when we speak about the area under the graph, we have to remind this particular picture and just assimilate this idea with the idea of physics. Okay. Next section. Suppose we have another graph. This is a graph. This is a graph that is represented by this red line. This is a graph. And here the value of x ranges along this direction and value of y that is along this direction. Value of x from range A to range B. This is from range A to range B. Okay. So if we want to calculate the area under the graph, under under the graph, when x ranges from A to B, this particular area, this area is the area under the graph if x ranges from A to B. And mathematically, this area means length into breadth. So if this is length and this is breadth, then the total area under the graph is equal to length y is equal to fx. Y is equal to fx. So y is along this direction and x along this direction. If we go through second slide, it will be clear too. Suppose this is y and this is x. Now, for simplicity, if we consider x is very small, this is x. So when x is very infinitely small, suppose the x is equal to like this, very small. So for a change of x dx, that is infinitesimally small. According to language of mathematics, that is called infinitesimally small. So this is dx and fy along this direction. So we will get a very small area like this along this dx, along this fx. So this rectangular shape, we will get a rectangle here along this fx and along this dx, and we will get a rectangular shape here. So that rectangle is represented by length fx and breadth dx. So this is fx dx, and if we add all the rectangles like this, one rectangle, second rectangle, third rectangle, etc., all the rectangles like this, then we will get the whole area. This is the first rectangle, fx dx, another fx dx, another fx dx, another fx dx. So all the fx dx are calculated from this to this, from A to B, and this geometrical idea, that means the area under the graph from A to B, when x ranges from A to B, the area under the graph is represented by this portion, and mathematically this is called integration A to B fx dx. So this is a little bit of mathematics to be acquainted with if you want to study elastic potential energy from the viewpoint of calculus. Okay. Next, we are going directly to the physics part of this lecture, that is elastic energy. So what is elastic energy? Elastic potential energy. Here there is a catapult. Okay. This string is made of rubber. You know this instrument, very small instrument, rubber bands. These are two rubber bands connected with a Y-shaped wooden frame, and there is a holder here. A pebble is taken here, a small marble is taken here, and if we stretch this rubber band, and after stretching, if we release it, the marble or the pebble will be free and it will be released with a velocity from here. So why this happens? It happens due to elastic potential energy. What is elastic potential energy? Elastic potential energy is the energy stored in elastic materials because of their stretching or compressing. Here we have taken an elastic material like rubber band. When elastic material, rubber band, is stretched, it is stretched here. When it is stretched, we apply a force to stretch this, and this force does some work, and that work is stored in this system as elastic potential energy. So elastic potential energy can be stored in rubber bands, bungee cords, another spring, etc., an arrow drawn in a bow, etc. The amount of elastic potential energy stored in such a system or such a device is related to the amount of stretch of the device. The more we stretch, the more stored energy. The principle of bow and arrow. In case of bow and arrow, elastic material is bow, and when the bow is released to get its original shape, the energy stored in bow is released also, and the arrow gets a velocity. So elastic energy is a potential energy, okay? And elastic potential energy is the energy stored in the elastic material. Elastic material, in this case, particularly in this case, this is rubber band. In case of bow and arrow system, that is bow or the bamboo, okay? And in case of spring, you have also seen the spring mass system in case of pistol, okay? So this is very preliminary idea about elastic energy. So what is elastic energy? We have already acquainted with elastic energy, and to be acquainted with elastic energy, we have to go through the elastic materials. What is elastic material? Next video. Elastic potential energy is associated with a spring. We know when a spring is stretched, the force developed within the spring Fs is equal to minus Kx. The force in the spring exerts a force on the body. Elastic potential energy associated with spring. So, in previous slide, we have seen already what is elastic potential energy, and we have discussed that elastic potential energy is stored in a spring also, or in a rubber band also. Okay. Now, you have to just look at this line, only this line. We know the force that spring exerts on a block, for example, is Fs is equal to minus Kx. Here minus is taken to denote the direction of force and direction of displacement of the spring. Okay, the force and the displacement are oppositely directed. So F is equal to minus Kx. Just you have to remind only this, Fx is equal to minus Kx. So elastic potential energy is associated with the spring, and the force that spring exerts on a block, for example, F is equal to minus Kx. Okay. Now, what happens when the force is exerted by the spring on a block or anything attached to it? Suppose, suppose this is the spring, this is the spring, and this is a ball which is attached to the spring. This is the rigid support. This particularly this very faint support. So this portion x1, x1, x1 is the length of the spring when the spring is unstretched. Actually, this distance from this to this is negligibly small, and when the spring is in natural position, then the length of this spring measured from this reference line. This is the reference line. We measure the distance of the ball attached to the spring from this reference line. We can take reference line here or here or here also, but for simplicity, we neglect this portion, and we measure the unstretched or unstrained length of the spring, that is equal to x1, and when this is stretched, this spring is stretched to this distance, the ball moves to this distance, and the stretched length of the spring is x naught. So we can say x naught minus x1 is the elongation of the spring. X naught minus x1 is equal to elongation of the spring. So if the elongation of spring is x is equal to x naught minus x1, then the elastic potential energy stored in the spring is equal to half kx square. Actually, this is expression for energy, and SI unit of elastic potential energy is Joule. The elastic potential energy is the energy that a spring has by virtue of being stretched or compressed. For an ideal spring, the elastic potential energy is equal to U is equal to half kx square. In previous slide, we have discussed about the force exerted by the spring. This is the force, this is the spring, and when the ball is taken from this point to this point, the ball is taken from this point to this point, the stretch of the spring is equal to x, and force applied on the body is equal to F is equal to minus kx, and k is the called spring constant. So energy is equal to half into spring constant into x square, where x is the elongation of the spring. Okay. Now how it comes? How this derivation we have to discuss the origin of this theory is equal to half kx square. Now the area under Fx graph for a spring therefore is equal to the amount of elastic potential energy stored in the spring. Now we have to neglect the sign F is equal to minus kx. So the modulus or magnitude of the force exerted by the spring is equal to F is equal to kx. So this is the applied force, this is the applied force, and this is the distance. We are plotting a graph like the first graph. This is the stretch or extension, and this is the force. So along this direction we will get only x. Along this direction we will get F is equal to kx. So the area under the graph, area under the Fx graph, F means force, x means distance. So along this F is equal to kx. So along this kx, along this x, and if we want to derive the area under the graph, then we will get the area is equal to area of this triangle, and area of this triangle is equal to half into base into altitude. So base is equal to x, altitude is equal to kx. So half into x into kx is equal to half into k into x square. So the area under Fx graph is equal to half k x square. Okay, and the area under Fx graph for a spring therefore is equal to the amount of elastic potential energy stored in the spring. So F into x means F means force, x means distance, that is equal to work done, and the total work done from 0 to x is equal to the area under the graph, that is equal to area under the graph half kx square. So total work done in stretching the spring will be stored as the elastic potential energy of the spring, and that will be is equal to half kx square. So this is the graphical representation or graphical idea about the elastic potential energy stored in a spring. We will go next section to discuss the actual proof of half kx square. Work done when varying the displacement or elongation x. Remember, elastic potential energy stored is equal to the area under the graph. Remember, the elastic potential energy stored in equal to the area under the graph. So, this is the elongation or this is the extension of the previous idea. Elastic potential energy is equal to half into k into x square. This is equal to F is equal to kx. This is represented along this direction and this is represented along this direction. And if we want to measure the area under the graph, then we will get the area is equal to x and this is fx half into x into fx half is fkx sorry half into x into kx, that is equal to half into kx square. Remember, large elongations do large amount of work. When x is greater, the elastic potential energy is also greater. So large elongation do large amount of work. Okay. So work done when varying the displacement or elongation x. This is the work. This is the proof, graphical proof actually of elastic expression for elastic potential energy. Very simple. Next, this is our idea. This relates to calculus. Okay. Now, for the learners, those who are not acquainted with the idea of calculus, it may appear a bit difficult, but it is not so difficult. I have already discussed about the sign, the meaning of this sign, about the meaning of fx dx, and about the meaning of this extension. So suppose when the spring is unstretched in a unstretched condition, this is the original length of the spring, this is the reference line, and the end position of the spring and the reference line lie in the same point. So in this position, the extension is 0. That means this is the unstretched condition of the spring. This is the rigid support, this is the spring, and spring is elongated. This spring is elongated by hand through a distance x. So when the spring is extended along this direction, this is the direction of x, the force developed within the spring will be along this direction. Actually, this is the direction of the force applied by this hand, and this is the direction of the force applied on the hand by the spring, that is Fs. So these are two force exerted by the person and force exerted by the spring. Now, this is the direction of force developed within the spring. This is the direction of extension of the spring. So they are mutually opposite to each other. So the negative sign comes. F is equal to minus F is equal to force is equal to minus kx. Okay. Now, this is the case of elongation. The spring is stretched to elongate. Now, here you look at the faint hand. In this case, the force applied by the person along this direction and force developed within the spring along this direction. Okay. This is the direction of force developed by the spring Fs, and this is the direction of the force applied by the person. So this is the case of compression. So either this spring is elongated or spring is compressed. The force applied by the external agent, here this person, and force developed within the spring are opposite to each other. In each cases, the direction of x and direction of force developed within the spring will be opposite to each other, and we will get the expression for force developed within the spring Fs is equal to minus kx. Fs is equal to minus kx. Now we are interested about the magnitude of the force only. So for simplicity, we will get Fs is equal to only kx. Now the work done is equal to W is equal to F into S. Again, F is equal to Kx. So the work done is equal to F into S, that is equal to Kx into S. If this for very small displacement dx, this work done will be Kx dx. Kx dx. So total work done is equal to integration of fx dx or kx dx, and you know integration of x dx is equal to x square by 2. Integration of x dx is equal to x square by 2. So w is equal to half kx square. So this is the proof according to calculus about the stored elastic potential energy. So this is actual proof of elastic potential energy, expression for elastic potential energy. Already we have discussed it through a graph and through calculus method. Okay, this is the expression for elastic potential energy. Now we shall go to the next section, that is one problem. A spring has a spring constant K of 320 Newton per meter. How much must this spring be compressed to store 50 Joule? So U is equal to half kx square, U is equal to 50, and K is equal to 320. Now x square is equal to value of x square. This is the expression, U is equal to half kx square. By putting just the values, will be very easily the value of x will be determined. The x is equal to 0.56 meter. Similarly, there is another problem. A force of 10 newtons stretches a spring by 0.2 meter. What is the spring constant of the spring? F is equal to minus kx. For previously, we have already said in this case the negative sign can be neglected. F is equal to kx. K is equal to 50 newton per meter. This is the value of spring constant, elastic potential. This is a very simple problem. Next problem. What is the elastic potential energy of a car spring that has been stretched 0.5 meters? The spring constant of the car is equal to 90 Newton per meter. Very simple problem. Just by putting all the values, we will be able to deduce the value of elastic potential energy. E is equal to half kx square. And the next problem. Calculate the elastic potential energy of the block spring with a spring constant of, this is spring constant and this is the compression. Maximum stretch of length is equal to this. So maximum stretch, compressed length. The difference between maximum stretch and compressed length is equal to extension, and elastic potential energy is equal to, at first we have to determine the value of x, and then the elastic potential energy half is equal to half into kx square. So these are all problems on elastic potential. It's very simple problems. Actually, this is a very simple problem also. Another problem. A spring has a 40 Newton per meter spring constant and resting position 0.5 meter, stretches to 2.5 meter. Find elastic potential energy. So difference between two position of the spring, 2.5, 0.5. This difference is equal to 2 meter. And x is equal to 2 meter and k is equal to 4 Newton per meter. Elastic potential is equal to half into k into x square, that is equal to 8 Joule. Okay. There is another problem, and this is all about simple problems of elastic potential energy. These are simple problems. You can go through your book to deduce the another problems, to solve another problems, and remind me later about your progress on elastic potential energy. Okay, thank you.